Make the ground shake.
All right, you guys. How you guys doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. On my knees, on my knees. Okay, let me put on my little music, honey. It shows like that. So today we ain't gonna have no lag. Okay, let's give God praise. Number one, no lag. Apparently, I got high GPU with the new M1 chip. I was using my Windows, and it was just a lot of lag. Now we're gonna be getting it in now. And I don't have to get a desktop. I was about to spend them little coins, get the desktop, the Lord knows. But I don't have to get a desktop. Yes, Lord. So shout out to Apple. Okay. Shout out to this energy drink. And here we are with welcome to the show. And also, we are streaming on 3 platforms. Okay, we got YouTube on the line. We got Facebook on the line. And we got my business page on Facebook on the line. Okay, honey. And somebody's downloading it to me. Put my Twitch on there too, eventually. Yes, God. So anywho, here today, we got a reaction. Top 20 worst CGI effects of superhero movies. You know, I love superhero movies. You know, I'm a big Marvel fan. Okay, honey. And I tried this before, and I did a little bit, and it was lagging, like I said. So this won't be lagging, and I'm excited for this. I wonder what they're gonna put. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, I know I like to be on the bottom. Yes, God. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Let me take a look over there real quick. Make sure everything looks good. All right, everything looks good. Let's get started. I'm excited for this.
I will come to an end. I will
Justice
take my
League.
place among the new gods.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 worst CGI effects in superhero movies.
Billy, there's one more demon guy in his eye. You gotta just rip it out of his face hole.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most
I wanna do
embarrassing and unconvincing special
I
effects
can look at my damn
found
TV
in
screen.
comic book movies.
This is so cool.
Which of these do you find most deplorable?
Which
Do you
I have my
actually
drink. I
like
just
any
got
of
my new
them?
margarita,
Let us
honey.
know in the comments.
For the weekend, we're gonna be turned up. So go
Number
ahead
20,
and like and
Hype
subscribe,
Only
y'all.
Fight. Daredevil.
You. Let's play.
We wanted to excuse some of the shoddy CGI of Daredevil because it was released in 2003. However,
Then why
when
you
you
have it on
consider that
list?
the excellent visuals of Jurassic Park were released 10 years earlier, a few
Well, I had a
special
higher
effects
budget.
from this superhero film become inexcusable. Daredevil's cinematic and awe-inducing climactic fight turns into laughable nonsense thanks to truly atrocious CGI. While computer-generating humans convincingly is still hard to do today, it really didn't work in 2003. Both Daredevil and Bullseye look like rubbery blocks. There's also a very clear difference between the live-action actors and the CGI. While we should have been cheering for Daredevil to win, we ended up rooting for this fight scene to end.
Mama, they'll fear. Looks like I found something you're afraid of.
Number 19, 7 Deadly Sins. Shazam.
It was fine at the time.
Read.
Daredevil was fine at the time. I don't know, but I put it on the list. That was like 15 years ago. It was fine at the time. I liked the movie. Okay, I didn't even notice it and stuff. At the time, it was fine. Oh, they got Shazam on him. They tried it.
You can have him.
Shazam's first solo outing is filled with lots of humor and some great character work, so we were excited to meet the sinister 7 Deadly Sins. Unfortunately, these antagonists are largely let down by their derivative design. Since they are little more than brownish-gray monsters with red eyes, they're extremely boring to look at. The
That's not
CGI used to
true.
render them isn't bad, when the monsters are the only things on screen. But when the Sins attack humans, the attacks themselves don't look that threatening.
Help! Somebody! Help me!
Let's see. They look good, especially in the light. It's difficult to do CGI in the light. And she wrong for this one too. I disagree with this one. It's in the light. It's difficult to do CGI in the light. Have you seen the Avengers movie and stuff? It's difficult to do that. And then with the person there, so they look pretty good to me. They look a little silly. Okay, I'll give you that, but they look pretty good.
You can't go crying to other people all the time.
Our brains can tell that these actors are really fighting nothing. Although the arrival of the Sins should have made for a compelling finale, they were let down by uninspired creature designs.
What do you got?
The main actor was like he wasn't padded. That was his real muscles. You a damn lie. He was a damn. Look at this suit right here. Look at this suit. It's padded. It's padded. You see, I seen another video, and the main actor, the handsome one with the dark hair, the main character, he said he wasn't. That was not pass. He worked out. It was a big workout regimen. He was a damn lie. Okay, I wanted to get on my video on my feed. Now I have the power to say so. He a damn lie. That was his pad. You could tell that's pads. He tried it. And now I got my own video, and I can say, you done tried it. Moving on.
Well, that's terrifying.
Number 18, Black Panther versus Killmonger. Black Panther.
What's up? I never yielded it!
While the MCU has given us awe-inspiring CGI, they're also guilty of a few dips of visual quality. One of the biggest offenders is the big clash between Black Panther and Killmonger. While the daylight section of the battle is quite epic in scope, things devolve quickly when Black Panther and Killmonger fall inside of the vibranium mine.
I hope they make Killmonger
the
the next Black Panther. I feel like that's the best
unnatural movements
Black Panther.
take a
Especially
lot of
when the animated series.
Nah, I learned from my enemies. Beat them at their own game.
Especially the animated series made him like a anti-villain or something like that. I thought that was a good storyline, and I hope that because I don't want I know the comics gonna have Shuri and stuff as taking the mantle. I don't see it for. I don't. And I'm a feminist, and I still don't see it for. I want Killmonger. And I know I'm the only one. Am I the only one? Get a comment section below. Okay, am I the only one that want Killmonger? Ooh. Let him take on the mantle, and just like how they did in the What If series on Disney Plus, let him be like an anti-villain type thing, an anti-hero, something like that. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm going? That's that writer in me. That's that creativity in me. Look at the Lord. He already doing it. Look what we doing. All right, honey. Let's continue.
Sections of the fight look more like a video game cutscene than a tentpole Marvel film. Even Chadwick Boseman's and Michael B. Jordan's floating heads can't help make this final confrontation feel more real.
Maybe we can still heal you.
Yeah, that whole background was awful. Hi, Michael.
Number 17, Steppenwolf, Justice League.
You were born of her, a creature of chaos.
Not how I see it.
Give it time.
One of 2017's Justice League biggest special effects missteps revolved around the title villain Steppenwolf. Although this entirely CG creation relied on motion capture from actor Kieran Hines, nothing about the antagonist felt remotely real. Steppenwolf doesn't carry a sense of weight, boasts a drab design, and his mouth doesn't always seem to line up with his dialogue.
Like a video game cutscene.
Exile, searching. At last, you call me home.
Okay.
Whenever he stands next to a live-action actor, we're instantly taken out of the scene. Multiple reports suggest that the post-production process for this 2017 movie was very rushed. This could explain how a movie that cost millions to make had Steppenwolf look so awful.
You will join my legion, and you will know the righteousness.
Could have gave me a couple of minutes, give me $1 million.
You will love me.
Number 16, The Spotlight Fight, Blade 2.
Motion sensors, zone 3, gentlemen.
Human.
Oh, that was good.
Body temperature 50.
As we
I
stated
can't
before,
wait to the new
digitally
Blade.
rendering human beings is difficult. A minor detail can make a scene unbelievable in an instant.
Wesley Snipes still look good, and you could just put, he could pick up the weight. I know he's older and everything. You could have used Wesley Snipes, but I know you need a younger character, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna want to do a series if it's successful. But yeah, Wesley Snipes still look good. he could have done the character, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to pay him more and stuff. And I know there's a hungry, uppercut actor as well. So I wonder who they're gonna use for the next Blade movie. Y'all let me know who y'all want to be in the next Blade, okay?
Audiences experienced this phenomenon when enemies stormed Blade's compound. Although we might have accepted him doing battle in front of an inexplicably large wall of spotlights, the movements push us past our breaking point. Despite the interesting choreography, the uncanny physical moves look absurd.
Nisa!
This scene gets even worse when it cuts between CGI and live-action stunts. It's a shame that actual stunt work was ruined by digital effects that absolutely bite.
You have been our most feared enemy.
Squarespace is a one-stop shop that
If y'all
helps
get
you
your
set up
ass off my
online stores
screen.
easily.
But now there's something else loose on the streets. Something worse than you.
Number 15. Doomsday. Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Born to destroy you. Your Doomsday.
What should have been an epic clash of heroes was criticized for being overlong, overwritten, and overly CG'd. Doomsday perfectly represents all of those problems at once. After the heroes confront each other and Lex Luthor, Doomsday comes crawling into life at the last second. English actor Robin Atkin Downes performed the motion capture and voice work for this abomination. The design itself of this massive and vaguely humanoid monster is horrifically boring.
Why did you bring him back to the city?
The port is abandoned. There's a weapon here that can kill it.
If you asked someone watching the film live to name one of Doomsday's distinguishing characteristics, they'd still struggle to pick something out. This middle-of-the-road rendering wouldn't have been so bad if its appearance didn't extend the movie. The bad CGI truly spelled doom for an already divisive story.
That's what I agree with. Doomsday looks awful. Like one of those final characters in the gore game.
Number 14. Tattoo's Wolf. Elektra.
She's down the street. 3
How
blocks
you
over
doing?
in the parking lot.
We need to kill the Gaijin assassin first.
Few movie fans were pining for an Elektra spin-off from Ben Affleck's lackluster Daredevil outing. Unfortunately, this heroine's horrible-looking tale still arrived in cinemas. One of Elektra's lowest points came courtesy of a villain with the fantastic name of Tattoo. The thought of an antagonist that sports ink that can come to life sounds awesome. But our enthusiasm faded when a wolf appeared out of Tattoo's belly. Not only does the villain's skin look like cheap plastic, but the animal's actual appearance is horribly edited. It's so choppy that it feels like the filmmakers were ashamed to show the wolf for too long. The terrible visual effects turned this tattoo into ink we'd definitely get removed.
Nice trick. I've seen it before.
Number 13. Incubus.
I agree with that one.
Suicide
But he
Squad.
look good.
Oh, wow.
The hell?
The original concept for Incubus was quite something. It was visually striking and instantly memorable, while inspiring an otherworldly type of fear. What we got instead was this horrific creation that looked little more than a tall, computer-generated actor in a crappy costume. The physical design is silly, and the CGI is equally underwhelming.
She throwing shade, honey.
It's gonna be bad. We should run.
His very fake-looking human face made it impossible to take anything coming out of his mouth seriously. Ironically enough, the production of 2016's Suicide Squad won an Oscar for makeup work on other villains. Maybe sending an actor to the makeup department and putting them on stilts would have been better than the final Incubus effects.
Get the chingaste away.
I felt like when he morphed into that thing, that CGI was awful too.
Number 12. The Cape. Spawn.
I warned you.
When that came out.
have to teach you a lesson.
Although a few of
1997.
Spawn's ideas deserve essays of their own, the visual effects are nothing to write home about. The titular hero's red cape is essential to his character and journey. Unfortunately, reports indicate that Spawn's red cape was notoriously difficult to animate, but maybe it shouldn't have appeared at all. The appalling costume piece both clashes with the live-action actors and moves with no discernible flow or physicality. This floaty and obvious digital artifact steals focus from genuinely interesting scenes. Since the production ran into a few time and financial issues, the special effects team isn't fully at fault here. They were likely just as displeased as we were that Spawn's cape turned out to be his worst accessory.
There's no place for me here.
That was a good ass movie,
Maybe
though,
you're
at the
one
time. I just love
Number
that
11,
movie. One of my
Gamma
favorites for a long
Dogs,
time.
Hulk.
I didn't even know that was good, especially effects at the time. 1997.
Long before the Avengers
Oh, sorry.
redeemed the Hulk, Eric Bana starred in an origin film with notably poor special effects. While the Hulk himself looks quite goofy in places, he's nothing compared to the nightmarish monstrosities that are the Gamma Dogs. The canines were once David Banner's pets, but thanks to a little of Hulk's DNA, the creatures become mutated, violent, and extremely rough to look at. Nothing about the protracted fight sequence between the Hulk and the evil canines works. The creatures look silly, the Hulk looks silly, and it just reeks of poor early 2000s CGI. Scenes like this keep Ang Lee's Hulk firmly in the doghouse.
He sent these dogs, didn't he?
Number 10, Bruce in the Hulkbuster.
I agree with that
Avengers
one.
Infinity
They
War.
did look awful.
You guys are so screwed now!
For the most part, Avengers Infinity War looks spectacular, and it better considering the $400 million budget. But there's one glaring visual flaw, and that's Mark Ruffalo's head inside the Hulkbuster.
This is gonna be like New York, pal. This suit's already kicked the crap out of the Hulk.
Some of his lines suck.
Pretty much every single shot of Bruce's head inside the Hulkbuster needs work, and it has a certain floaty quality to it that is never made.
I hope they
convincing.
bring it on a new Thor.
Screw you, you big green asshole! I'll do it myself! Come on!
That was a good one.
It almost looks like Ruffalo's head is photoshopped onto the Hulkbuster itself, and the results are borderline laughable. It stands out in a movie filled with otherwise great CGI, and is a blemish on an otherwise excellent movie.
Okay, she ain't gonna be doing one of my favorite movies now. Hold up, girl, hold up a damn minute. I had to put her on pause. Okay, that was the best CGI movie, and that's something I didn't even notice. Did y'all notice the Hulkbuster costume? That was one of the best things in the last Avengers. You see when the Hulkbuster against the Hulk, okay, when Tony Stark did that, that was one of the best things, and she tried it on here. And I didn't even notice it. I mean, they had many of the Tony Stark scenes when he'd be up in there talking to the computer girl in the sky and stuff, and it looks just the same. Girl, bye. Look at this, y'all. Look, let me put it. I think y'all can see the arrow. Look at this. That looks good. Look at that. You see the sadness. This was such a good ass motherfucking movie. No, she did. You tried it, you bitch. You bitch ought to come through there and find you, girl. You wrong for this. Look at that. He looks fine. The costume. This looks good. Look at Rocket Raccoon. They all look sad. This is a wonderful scene, and she tried it. I'm mad as hell. One of my favorite movies. She tried it. Anywho, let's move on.
Number 9, not so fantastic stretching, Fantastic Four.
That's gross.
Mid-2000s Marvel was certainly
Get
not
it,
the
honey.
Marvel we know and love today. Case in point, the 2005 adaptation of Fantastic Four. Produced by Marvel Enterprises, as it was then known, Fantastic Four starred Ioan Gruffudd as Mr. Fantastic. The founding member of the Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic has the bizarre ability to stretch his body and elongate his limbs. It looks a little goofy on the page, and it looks even goofier in live action.
That looks fine to me.
The CGI of Gruffudd's elongated limbs looks more like something out of a cheap television show rather than a $100 million blockbuster. Fantastic Four isn't a good movie, and the CGI certainly doesn't help.
Oh my god, Reed, what did you do?
I can make it work.
No!
Number 8, Ruined Rhino, The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I told you I would be back!
This is often considered the weakest Spider-Man movie, and that's saying something considering the legacy of Spider-Man 3. A part of its negative reputation stems from the bland and visually embarrassing villains Elektra and Rhino.
And every
No, she didn't. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. That was a good ass movie, especially he was like this geek and he had the little part right there, and then he had a lot of funny things. Now, I hope you see the latest damn Spider-Man, and he was one of the best characters in that damn movie. Okay, the best villain to me. No, she did. She, girl, you get on my damn nerves. Girl, bye. That was good. He was good in that damn movie. You ain't gonna be talking about Jamie Foxx. This I don't like it. I don't like him. Just say I don't like it. Don't say, oh, the movie was bad, that character was bad. Don't say that shit. Just say I don't like it. Ooh. He was good, especially in the last Spider-Man.
Who are you? Don't you know?
That CGI looks real good. Don't it look scary as hell? This is the worst CGI. Look at that. That looks cool. That looks cool. I'm scared as hell. Got the veins and he looks evil. Look at the teeth. Ooh. And he acting pretty good right there. Look at that. Look at that. Exhibit A.
Both villains are plagued with poor CGI work, with Rhino in particular suffering from Bruce Banner's floating head syndrome.
On behalf of the fine people in
What's
New
with
York
her
City,
floating
we
heads?
want
I don't see what she's
everywhere
talking
ask
about.
you to put your mechanized paws in the air.
I clash, so I kill you. I destroy you.
Much like Bruce Banner, it consistently looks like Rhino's head is floating in his mech suit, and it completely eliminates the sense of danger and menace that a good superhero antagonist should always embody. Paul Giamatti is a great actor.
Get y'all a good capture of that. The whole suit looks really good. It looks really good. And this is, and I hope this is not rated of the top, from bottom to the top, and she got this on the top. Oh, she about to make me cut her.
Actor, but he was utterly wasted as Rhino. Number 7, Hellboy vs. Giants. Hellboy.
Wait a minute. I thought there was supposed to be 3.
There's something to be said when the Hellboy from 2004 often looks better than the Hellboy from 2019. Hellboy fights 3 giants at the beginning of the film.
Of course. It has to look better. It's a couple years later. You see what I'm saying? What is she talking about? It's years later, so it should look better. Because it's a couple of years later, you know what I mean? It's the second movie, right?
And while this should have made for an epic sequence, the CGI ruins any semblance of excitement. The mixing of practical effects and CGI was not a good decision, as the CGI is incredibly easy to pinpoint amidst the real footage. Perhaps the worst offender is Hellboy's stone fist. In one particular instance, Hellboy is knocked to the ground and his stone fist is clearly visible on his right hand. After he dodges a giant's blade, the stone fist is suddenly on his left hand. It's stuff like this that makes Hellboy seem unfinished.
Yeah, just you and me now, princess.
Number 6,
I've never
Super
seen
High,
that. I
The
need to
League
see
of
it.
Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Not the whole thing.
Talk about wasted potential. We love the concept of classic literary characters fighting evil in Victorian Europe. However, this 2003 movie adaptation completely bungled it, and is even responsible for bringing about the end of Sean Connery's film career.
God, I hate getting older.
The climax of the film sees Mr. Hyde and Captain Nemo fighting some type of mutant Hyde. And the
What the
mutant
hell?
Hyde looks, well, like this.
What is that thing? It's me on a bad day.
Give me a good capture of that. What the fuck, y'all? I agree with this one. Look, what the fuck is this shit? Look like a big red booger. Yeah, I agree with this one. I agree with this. Oh, let's keep it a movie. We got we had y'all sat through. If you sat through here, thank you guys. Give me a like button, comment which ones you guys think is The worst CGI. Okay, honey. Let me go ahead and get through this.
We can't fault the work too much, as the quality of early 2000s CGI is usually spotty even on the best of days. But this pretty much ruins what could have been a really exciting sequence.
Hands coming out.
Number 5. Blade's Eyes, Blade Trinity. The third entry in the Blade series was widely maligned, and while we're not blaming the CGI eyes in particular, they're indicative of a bigger problem.
Why do you do that?
Because there's something bad inside of me. This keeps it from getting out.
In the movie's final scene, Blade is lying on a slab and about to be cut open when he suddenly opens his eyes and attacks.
Why do they have to CGI his eyes? All he need to do is just open them.
If the sequence looks a little off, it's because the eyes have actually been computer generated onto Wesley Snipes' face. The story goes that Snipes and director David S. Goyer did not get along, and while filming this climactic scene, Snipes refused to open his eyes, seemingly just to spite and frustrate Goyer. Goyer essentially said fine, whatever, and decided to go with CG eyes instead.
Because he was a hybrid, his heart never stopped beating. It simply slowed down. And so he slept, waiting for the moment when he could walk the earth again.
So he did a Monique, honey, being difficult. Being difficult, and they had the CGI eyes. Why you don't want to open your eyes, Wesley? Why you don't want to open your eyes? It's simple. You could open your damn eyes, okay?
Number 4. Leaping Catwoman. Catwoman.
You boys thought you could come in here and
That was a really bad
steal all
movie.
these beautiful things? What a perfect idea.
Not so hot take. Catwoman isn't just one of the worst superhero films ever made, it's one of the worst
I agree.
films ever made, period. Well, it is, according to many critics anyway. The infamous basketball scene has been well and truly covered, and many consider it the weakest scene in the whole movie. But may we also suggest all the leaping around, including the robbery scene? This sequence features some truly uninspired CGI, with Catwoman's wall jumping looking like something out of a PS2 game. This movie reportedly had a budget of $100 million, and it's scenes like this that make us wonder where the money went. Number 3. The Suit.
So
Green
highly
Lantern.
probably.
Ryan Reynolds has enjoyed one of the biggest career revivals in movie history. It was looking quite dour for a minute there, and that minute encompassed the now notorious Green Lantern. For some bizarre reason, the team behind Green Lantern decided to ditch the traditional costume in favor of a CGI suit. And despite hiring Academy Award-winning costume designer Nyla Dixon, we got this as a result.
Ah, green! Wow. I know, right?
The CGI suit makes Hal look otherworldly. Not in a good way, but he looks like a video game character kind of way. They couldn't even bother making a good green eye mask, and the CGI clashes with Reynolds' very real face.
What is this? Why is your skin green? Why are you glowing? What the hell is with that mask?
Came with the outfit.
Number 2. Superman's
I agree with that
Lip,
one,
Justice
too.
League. Rather than being the DCEU's magnum opus, Justice League was instead a calamity that became
That
more
was one of
famous
the
for
best
its CGI
things.
than anything else. Despite a $300 million price tag, Justice League isn't up to snuff, with Steppenwolf being a particularly egregious example, as we've already mentioned.
Primitive beings.
Okay, what other problem you got, girl?
But it's
What other
Superman's
problems?
lip that always incites mockery.
And you're dying. And I get the exclusive.
Yes, ma'am.
As most people know by now, Henry Cavill was sporting a mustache from Mission Impossible Fallout and couldn't shave it for the Justice League reshoots, so Paramount executives decided to digitally erase it in post. It was the worst decision they could have possibly made, and the results look like a goofy Snapchat filter.
How many people that you saved have
do you say it? Never mind. Does your thing really stand for hope?
Yes.
Before we continue, be
tell.
sure to subscribe to
Can
our
y'all
channel
tell?
and ring the bell to get notified about
tell.
our latest
I was
videos.
looking.
You have the option to be notified for occasional
keep right along.
videos or all of them.
I would've
If you're
paused,
on your phone,
but I
make
couldn't
sure you
tell.
go into your settings and switch on notifications.
And do that for me too, you guys.
Number 1, Wolverine's Claws. X-Men Origins, Wolverine. Even the most diehard superhero fans admit that X-Men Origins Wolverine leaves a lot to be desired, particularly the visual effects.
Wait, is that you? Stryker finally figured out how to shut you up.
Wolverine.
That was horrible how they what they did to Deadpool in that movie. They done put they covered him up, and it was a mess. Whose decision? I opted for years. Now I got my own platform. Now I can ask the question: whose damn decision that was? And then it was like, you know what Deadpool became after that horrible ass shit. They shut up the Deadpool, and it's like they made a mockery of the idea. And they just kind of like, oh, let's just shut him up. But who came up with that? You know what I mean? And of course somebody else had to, you know, they see what Deadpool could be, and we got the Deadpool. But whose idea to shut him up and put the thing over his mouth like that and kept him quiet? And whose idea was that? So I always wondered that. That's stupid as hell. And I hope that person who made that decision is in their feelings, okay? Because you know what Deadpool became.
Computer-generated adamantium claws earned widespread derision from fans and critics alike. Most people point to the bathroom scene as the culprit, as the CGI on display here is like something we would have seen back in 1992. It doesn't blend with Hugh Jackman's fists at all, and the texturing is so bland and simple that it looks crudely photoshopped. It's one of the most infamous scenes in superhero movie history. And for good reason.
I swear I'm gonna pay for it.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
That was fun. Oh my goodness. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Okay. Thoroughly enjoyed that. So I agree with most of it. Okay. I agree with most of it. Okay, but she can't be trying the Avengers, okay, honey. That CGI was good. It's Mark Ruffalo's costume. We didn't care, especially the whole, you know, Hulkbuster was good. So I did not agree with that. She kept coming for. I think she didn't like, you know, the DC movies. Okay, she kept coming for that, as you can tell, honey. She kept coming for. I'm like, don't be trying it, okay. Now, I agree with you with Doomsday, girl. I let you pass with Doomsday, but don't try nothing else, girl. But she tried it. But anywho, that's my reaction, okay? It was quite a bit there. Thanks for staying with me to the end. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it, okay, honey? Give me a like button, okay? And I'm going to be doing this all the time, okay, honey? We finally got things going. And yes, God. So hit the like button, comment what you guys think which was the worst. What do I think was the worst? Was it Spawn? I think Doomsday, that was pretty bad. And then they couldn't put their eyes on Blade. That was really bad. Anywho, so anyway, you can check it out. And give me a comment. I'm gonna get better with this ending. Okay, honey. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Peace. I'm jamming to the song, honey.
Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Become one of my dreamers and get your treatment live here at AF Live.